This is a MRF, which is a material recovery facility, which is a funny name, but that's been designated years ago. That's what these facilities are called. We do almost 1,000 tons a month, give or take, different times of the year. So we do any variation from that. About 5% goes to the landfill. Everything else goes to a post-use facility, which will be made into something else, like another factory. This gets to the next level. When they come in and dump, this is the tipping floor. This is where everything comes to start before we process it. It'll all get dumped out here and it'll go into what's called this metering bin. He'll load it up in that with a loader there in it. It'll go start the process of going through the machinery itself. This is where the pre-stored area is. So when it comes up to here, they're looking for things like water hoses, big plastic items, things that can't go through the machine so it doesn't jam it up. They're gonna pull that off first. Wood, things that we can't recycle at this facility, and they can go on to another place to be recycled or taken to the landfill as waste. Down here is where a lot of the metals go. The big metals we'll pull out pre-sorted and we'll get some of the trash out of it. Yeah, everything that goes through, that goes on, we'll attempt to recycle it in some form or fashion. What's happening on this mezzanine is it's gonna get reduced down to a fiber or a plastic. So what you'll see here is like a contaminated line. They're trying to get everything they can get off of it so we can reprocess that and get all the good out of it that we can. This line right here is gonna take all the bottles, cans, and any grade of plastic is gonna go up here where it goes to our optics, and it actually will pick it. So when it comes across this conveyor, it's fast, so it spreads it out. It will actually ID what kind of plastic it is with this. It's like laser guided missile technology. But what it does is it'll figure out what it is, the density of it, all in a millisecond. Then it'll activate these thousands of air lines, and it'll sit there and take these little nozzles and shoot it to the conveyor that it needs to go to for that particular material. This optical sorting is what it is, and it's faster than any human. But we have a human over here just helping it out when it misses, but it doesn't really miss much. What's happening here, this is the last part of the line. They're picking off different grades of plastics that the optical sorters didn't have. It goes to this magnet right here, and it's getting all the magnetizable metals that can come out of here, like tin, like your soup cans, things like that. And after it goes there, it goes to what's called an eddy current, which is like a magnet that opposes, like two opposite ends of a magnet. It opposes aluminum, so it throws it into its own bin. Yeah, it's called an eddy current. So everything that can't be recycled goes into this bin right here, and there's a lot that still can. Maybe the machine missed it, or it had a cross-contamination in it. They let it go to not cross-contaminate the good material. But the smallest bin in here is the trash bin. We're taking about 5% to the landfill of what we're doing right now. Everything else goes to another factory, which it can be broken down and made into other products. Aluminum gets made back into more aluminum cans. Paper gets made back into paper. Plastic can get made into all kinds of things. But they're recyclable as you can get them in here. These bottles right here, this is what's called a PETE plastic. This is what 99% of your drink bottles and stuff are made out of. Those are the ones that float down the river. Those are the ones that are bad. Those are the ones that make a trash island. They can only be broken down by UV light or another recycling process. So we want these things to be in here so we can send them back to maybe like a Unify and be made into clothes, materials, building materials. They make them into all kinds of stuff. The next one down here is the high density polyethylene. So the clear version of it's like your milk jugs, and then there's the version that has a color dye in it. So this can go back to actual like food grade. They'll reprocess this, make it back into like maybe trays for food, things like that. But this can be made into water pipe, utility pipes, all kinds of that stuff. Yeah, when it comes down to the end of the line and it's in a bunker, we'll take it and put it into the baler just like you would hay on a farm. So it goes through this baler, it gets crunched down to where we can ship it more efficiently, and it can go down to the next processing facility, which will make this back into all of those Amazon boxes that seem to end up on every door, which is a lot of our business right now is that. We get more cardboard than anything, the way the world is set up now to everything to be shipped at your doorstep. It's great that we can take this stuff and it go right back into the stream, and they can just keep recycling it over and over again. But it has to go made to a bale before we can load it onto semi-trucks to go to the next processing facility. So this is natural considered natural high-density polyethylene. That means it has no dyes in it whatsoever. It'll get ground down, washed into a pellet, and get made into something else at the next facility. But this is what we call like a high grade. It can get made into almost anything. Utility pipes, more milk jugs. It can actually get recertified to go back through food grade again, because it goes through a heating process where it gets re-extruded again at a couple thousand degrees or something. It's really hot, so nothing lives through it. During the summer, this is the stinkiest bales because it's got old milk in it. But yeah, this is a prime example of like almost 100% recycled stuff. So. Cat food cans and soup cans are different. Like a lot of people don't realize that a cat food can, which this is mainly cat food cans, a bunch of cat ladies in this town apparently, but those are all aluminum, but it's a different grade of aluminum than like your drink cans. It's like a lesser value. But we try to recycle absolutely everything we can get in here. They make a really pretty tight square bale. It's almost like an art piece. But yeah, it's strong. That's a heavy 2,000-pound bale of just straight cat food, just about. It's crucial to put it in the right bin and get it to us. So if it's not in the right area, if it gets thrown on the wayside, you're almost guaranteed it's gonna go into some creek, and they all lead to the ocean. We don't want any of that stuff in our water systems. That's where we drink from, it's where we play at, it's recreation, it's our life. So if we can get it in this facility, we can make sure we can get it to the right place and make it back into something else and not have to use more resources throughout our world to actually make these things happen again. Well, every ton we do here is a ton that doesn't go in the landfill. People think that just you can fill it up forever. It's not how that works. And eventually we'll run out. And that actually makes your taxes go up. If you're not talking about environmental, anything at all, it just makes the cost of living more in Davidson County because it has to go somewhere else. They have to pass the buck. So the more stuff we can recycle back through this facility, the more landfill space, the longer that thing can live, and you can just be more efficient with how we do stuff.